Welcome back to The Context. Now, as we round out the week, we're also getting a sense of how President Trump's tariffs and a brewing trade war are playing out among consumers. We heard a little of the reaction before the break, and there is some new data out today.
That's right. University of Michigan's survey has found that consumer sentiment has fallen for a fourth straight month, down 11% from March. This means, according to the survey, sentiment has now dropped 30% since December. The latest report notes the decline was, quote, pervasive, unanimous across age, income, education, geographic region and political affiliation.
All right, let's bring in Congressman Pete Sessions. He's a Republican from the state of Texas. Congressman, very good to have you on BBC News today. Thanks for joining us. We just mentioned that consumer sentiment is down pretty significantly. What do you think about that?
Consumer sentiment would be down as prices rise. And specifically, we have seen as a result of not just the tariffs, but some other perhaps things in the marketplace, indecision and some other things that are meaning that there are prices that are rising, not just in energy, but also food prices. So some are directly attributable to this tariff issue, and some are attributable to just the times and things that happen naturally in agriculture. It is a reality that people have not seen prices fall.
Well, let's talk about the tariff aspect with the tariffs on Chinese imports now at 145%. And I was reading that Texas was the largest exporter of goods to China in 2023, around $25.7 billion worth. Are you worried about the impact of these tariffs on your state?
Certainly, that we export from Texas to the world about 15 to $17 billion of agricultural products. We also have large companies, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, that do export larger things, Dell Computer as an example. So all these things would be met with some resistance, certainly skepticism by people who are worried about instability and timeframes.
Are you hearing about that, Congressman? Are you hearing about that in your district among your constituents?
Yes, we are. And what we're hearing about is things that are not being resolved quickly. So the reason, and I've been listening now for about 20 minutes, the reason why people in Texas and perhaps Republicans are willing to give the president a little bit of lead time on this is because of the way we've been dealt with by China. But that does not answer the question about tariffs on everybody else. And so it's a big question that is taking place, not just in Texas, but across the country.
Is that a question, Congressman, that you've put to the president, to the administration?
Well, I think that the question that would be to the administration is twofold. Number one, was this an $11 trillion problem that they were looking at, or was this something that happened that really caught them off guard? And the second was, members of Congress are preparing to go home for 2 weeks. Is this really the discussion that you want them to be having with constituents that seemingly are not all in on waiting very long for the final answer?
Yeah, certainly an important point there, Congressman. We've been talking about China, and I saw that the Treasury Secretary had said that he thinks the U.S. could approach China as a group with allies. I guess I wonder why U.S. allies would want to work together with the U.S. on this when the U.S. has also slapped tariffs on those countries, has talked to Canada about annexing Canada as the 51st state.
Well, we could certainly bring that up, and perhaps that is germane to the question. The bottom line is that we need each other, all these countries, whether it be Canada, Mexico, that we have trade agreements with, or with our friends across Europe. We need to approach this together. The largeness, the huge opportunity that abounds is still China, who not just takes their your things that you do back home, but they do not understand intellectual property, rule of law, so many things. So America actually does need to get along with the world, and we need to be seen as working with them. And I think to get to zero tariffs will be another way that can be proven.
You know, the global economy is, of course, very interconnected, Congressman, and we've seen J.P. Morgan saying that the odds of a recession here in the U.S. are now at 50%. We saw the markets go up and down this week, but do you think there might be a recession now here in the U.S.?
Here's what I think. I think that the president needs to make sure that he has in his mind the goal that he intended and intends to now make and what that time frame means. And it needs to be apparent to the American people. And then I think we'll be on board.
All right, Congressman Pete Sessions, I know you've spoken to us a few times this week on these tariffs. Really appreciate your time. Have a good weekend.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.